partner this year is a gentleman named Henry Camper, and we went out, this was a week before the tournament, on a Sunday afternoon for a couple hours, just to kind of, I guess, kind of get used to each other, and it was a pretty day to go fishing.
Dad.
Oh, there it is. There you see him? He was 23 feet deep. That's a nice one. Look at that.
That's a nice one there. Oh, that's a nice fish.
Uh-huh. I might have seen another one.
Need the net? That's a nice one there.
We'll try and land it. Come on, keep walking around. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Yeah, everyone I've caught here, they're not small.
That's a nice one there.
He's got those red lips too, don't he? There we go. You know what?
So, we found them. They were pretty deep, and I catch a couple on a jig, and he catches one on a creature bait.
Ooh, there he is. Oh gosh. He's smaller. He about took the rod out of my hand when I said to work.
Right.
Boom. That's the pattern. There she blows. There's this pretty little buck bass.
So practice day, we decided we're going to fish some main lake points and some of those steep banks where the water was a little bit stained. Actually, it was a lot stained. Then we got on the striper pattern, big time.
Oh man, here I want to turn the camera around so they can see this. Look at that. That'd be a striper.
There you go.
Nice.
Why couldn't that have been a bass?
I know it. There we go. Thank you, sir. Got it. All right. That'll make life exciting for a moment. Wrong species. Oh, you do? Oh, that's is it a good one? Oh, I see the flash. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
That'll work. Bam.
But I figured that would be the key, is those main lake points and some of those steep banks, and the wind was blowing right in there and had been blowing practice day and the tournament day. So I thought that maybe we'd go into those not shallow pockets, but short pockets, because the bait fish were in there. We can mark them on the electronics. So I wanted to focus on those areas. And in the very backs of those short pockets, there were some bait fish and there was some fish.
God, just let us have a great day in the water, and let us represent you to those who come across. In your holy name, Lord. Amen.
All right, let's go.
Lord willing, we'll have a 20-pound sack today.
All right. That's right.
Nice.
Unfortunately.
Got one.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, yes. Came off, too. Good, good, good. Bam.
Awesome one.
Mr. Camper.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to take me a quick little pee.
Now, you know, Mother Nature calls, and I'm doing my deal there, and you know, you hear those words right in the middle of your nice steady stream. Got one!
Got another one. Got another one.
Okay. Oh, man. Come on. Where's he at?
Like a striper.
Oh, it's a striper. Oh, don't lose that jerk bait. Oh, there we go. Gosh, that's a striper. Good Lord. All right, let me zip up my pants.
That's fine.
Got it, got it. All right.
There are certain prayers that every fisherman has when they go to the lake. Number one, safety. Number two, that everything works. How many times have you backed the boat in, turned the key, something's wrong, the big motor don't start, nor the trolling motor. So if you recall in my Bugs Island Kerr Lake video, I had an issue with my trolling motor, had to drive all the way back home, buy another one, install it, and sure enough, not only was that tournament miserable, but it was also so frustrating because that's one of those prayers that a tournament angler has. God, please let everything work right. So that trolling motor went out. This trolling motor started acting up. Are you serious?
So I'll explain later. We got this thing with the trolling motor. So what I have to do to make it run sometimes is beat on it.
Just tap on it and it seems to work.
There you go. Fish. Oh, good. There we go. Bam. I guess that's why I was fishing. Come on, buddy. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Awesome.
You can take the front if you want. I'll put him in the thing and then I'll...
But you got to keep on fishing. You know, I believe that I'm going to make up a motivational speech about fishermen being perseverers. Because, you know, no matter what the weather, I mean, think about that last tournament. 38 degrees, raining all day, heavy. If your equipment breaks down, doesn't matter. I mean, how many tournaments have you been in and you knew somebody that didn't have a trolling motor and still fished, or the big motor wouldn't work and they had to just piddle around the takeoff area? Sometimes you do pretty good that way. Or stuff in the boat doesn't happen. A certain percentage of everybody that competes in a tournament on that tournament day, they'll have some kind of equipment failure because it's equipment. There's machines that run. So how many times have you fished, been sick as a dog? It didn't feel good, your shoulder hurts. You know, these professionals have back surgery and shoulder issues. I mean, fishermen are good perseverance people. They understand what it means to do whatever it takes. So that's something we had to do. We had to go ahead and put our head down and fish, crank up the big motor, run it, try to find those banks where the wind wouldn't blow us to kingdom come.
I didn't think he had it.
Man, just barely nipped it, and he was coming fast.
Crank up the big motor, drift again, and it was miserable again.
Well, shoot. Hang on a minute.
All right.
Let me just, I just want to go forward so we stop the back momentum. Oh, sorry. Then the wind can drift us.
And we could find the little ones. They were a little further back on the secondary points and back in the secondary pockets. But the big girls were out in the main lake. But we kept our head down, we stayed positive, and was able to scratch out a limit. Thank you, Lord.
Oh, I should have said that. Yeah, he's over 14. All right. Good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we got 5. Well, hands are cold. That little one.
First one.
That's what yours on the jerk.
Didn't have the fishing. It was tough, but I had a great time fishing with David.
Because he's an awesome guy.
Because he's an awesome guy.
That's right.
That's right.